round another, round another, round another, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Round another, round another, round another, round another, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Round another, round another, round another. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history?
Hey, welcome back. Sorry for the delay. You are now tuned into
Our Hidden History Radio Show.
We're back. Chapter 29. We are at chapter 29. Chapter 29. Let's just jump right into it because we had a late start. Sorry about that. But we're going to just jump into it so we don't waste any more time. We're going to go into the book Social. You know, I want Social. I'm on page 351. We left off last week going into the Inquisition and the atrocities and the systemic racism that took place regarding our people, even in Spain and Portugal, with the ghettos, the purification of the race, the annihilation of our race with the church that was used as a tool to destroy our race. Which is still being used today by the heathens and our people who are immersed in that ridiculous ideology of Christianity, which is not biblical at all. And basically this history lesson just basically confirms that the Christian church is the enemy of God and the enemy of Israel. And it has been for damn near hundreds of years, from 711 AD. No, not 711, but from 1492, 1480 to 1400s until present. This is terrible. So we're going to start off with West Africa, and we're going to read a few pages. We're going to read up to 354, and we're going to stop at temporary at 354. So there's a lot of reading. But we will have scriptures, of course. I want to start off with reading first, just to get this out the way. We're pretty much almost done. So let's get page 3. Matter of fact, let me give you this book real fast about the Inquisition. Yeah, Jared, give them this book real quick. This is the book y'all gave us, the Visigoths.
Wait, do I have that yet?
I don't know if you're going to get this one.
Let me see.
Wait,
you can't. Wait, I can't afford it?
No, it's hard to get.
Hey, Jess, can you get that for me?
Yes, sir. I'll look into it.
Look at page 36. Do you have Visigoths, page 36? Visigoths, Jews, and Muslims in medieval Spain. Do you have page 36? I think you do.
Hey, Lord's will, this don't have to be the end of it. The chapters, we could probably touch on us going into West Africa.
Yeah, we're going to go into that,
and,
yes.
You know, how we...
we're going to go into that after this. We're definitely going to go into the history of the Arab sub-Saharan slave trade, the Portuguese slave trade, which ties into that. Y'all have that page? All right, perfect. All right, all pages.
Hey, Israel, make sure we share. This is our new page. Like I said, Our Hidden History Radio channel. Make sure we share it. Make sure you put it on your Facebooks. Blast it everywhere. All right, we want to get the word out. This is our new page going forward. All right, make sure you subscribe to our new YouTube page.
Right. Page 351, West Africa. Let's go. You're going to skim, kind of speed read. Not speed read, just going to read a little fast so we can get through it. We got a lot to read here to cover.
Yes, sir. West Africa was geographically closest and most intimately connected with the economic and military developments in Brazil.
Yeah.
Ships crisscrossed the Atlantic Ocean in both directions with relative frequency.
Because remember, the class chapters way earlier, we showed you that the wind currents from West Africa blow westward. So if there's like a storm of some kind, the ship gets caught in a storm, you automatically gonna find yourself in the Americas because the winds blow westward from West Africa. So basically, once you sail from West Africa right across, you end up in Brazil. It's literally right there. There's even a video that they have that suggests that historically, I believe our people in Mali and the Native Americans were doing trade, and that they found Native Americans wearing garments and using materials that are found in Mali, because these people, the same people, we're having trade relations.
Our pops was telling me about that a while ago.
There's a video that actually shows it. I'm not sure where I forgot who showed it to me or sent it to me, but I know that there's a video that basically expresses that there's a chance that our people who are merchants, we know our people over here, we sailed over here and we would do business transactions, and I believe the Spaniards are saying that the blacks were over here already, and that they found some of them over here already. All right?
Right. Yes, to land back off of that, Deacon, Christopher Columbus, he was mad that we was coming over here. We was already doing trade amongst each other already.
Right, over here,
with
yep.
with weapons and different metals, different precious metals. We was already trading amongst each other
Before he got here.
before he got here. You find it. It's in a book. We can bring it out.
We have it, yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Brazil's agriculture and industrial production increasingly depended on the importation of African slaves, most readily supplied by traders who acquired them from local African chieftains and slave hunters.
We Brazil again? Brazil's agriculture or what? Brazil's what?
Brazil's agriculture and industrial production increasingly depended on the importation of slaves. Brazil's agriculture and industrial production increasingly depended on the importation of African slaves.
Our people, go ahead.
Most readily supplied by traders who acquired them from local African chieftains and slave hunters.
Local African chieftains and slave hunters. We are going to have to eventually go into their homie, that Hamite bastard. I can't even say nigga, it's niggas are people. But this dude, this Hamite was terrible. He was a terrible man. And he conquered Whiter. Well, we were the superpower at one point in time, and eventually, with the help of the Portuguese and the help of our own people, Civil War, he managed to basically overthrow us within Whiter, and then begin to rule over us within our land. And they were eating us yearly?
Yes, sir. It's annual.
Eating us yearly, and they also when they conquered, they took our women. Explain that, Jez. What they did with our women?
Right. So they took out.
But before you go there, those of you who are familiar with the movie Justice League, you have Wonder Woman. She came from a place called Themyscira, the Amazonians. All right, the Amazonians. Those women are based upon our women in Africa. Amazonians are based upon our women in Africa. Explain how. Go ahead, Jess. Watch.
So they homie was a Hamite that was.
It wasn't his name, but that was the region. We named that region ourselves. It has a name. Their homie means
right. This different. Yes, they say they come from the homie Ham. They named it after Da, the god Da, or something like that.
Okay,
so it's different.
So it's variations.
Yeah,
of it.
different
All right,
variations.
so they're homie and Hamites.
Right. So they originally was called the Foyos, Foys. But anyway, what he would do to us, he would conquer us. He would do his annually sacrifice. So he put some of us aside for his human sacrifice
to eat us
yearly. Yes. And and the ones that he didn't use, he would sell us in slavery. Mm-hmm. And then he took take the older men, he would kill them off,
the elders,
because he knew that them being the older men, they would be able to inspire
people.
Yes, sir, inspire the younger men. And the women, he would take them, he would cut their breasts off and put them in his army, and they became the Amazons.
His soldiers.
They were his soldiers, his bodyguards, and they would nice, fierce warriors, the women. Okay. In the movie Black Panther also you see that, they had the women guards and all that. So
right.
But
that's what it's based upon.
Right.
Based upon our women being mutilated, our breasts were being mutilated, and they made them soldiers. He basically made our women the men. That's what he did. Okay, he basically cut our breasts off. That's how the Amazonian history derives from our women being enslaved by Hamite bastards and enlisted in his army. All right, so go ahead. We got the books in that too. We'll eventually bring it out because that takes place after. Excuse me. That takes place after this. These things we're talking about take place after the expulsion, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
After the expulsion. So there's a lot of history, deep-rooted history, with after the expulsion, leading into the Trans-Saharan and the Transatlantic. Go ahead.
Brazil's agriculture and industrial production increasingly depended on the importation of African slaves, most readily supplied by traders who acquired them from local African chieftains and slave hunters.
Let's get Joel 3. Let's get Joel 3 real quick. This is show how scripturally, and there's a book that we're gonna use that book eventually. You know what I'm talking about, the encyclopedia.
Yes, sir.
Book that took us a while to find it, and we finally found that book. We thought it didn't exist. We thought it was like somebody just made it up and just threw it online until we actually found it. We said, "Oh, damn, it is in here."
Yeah, because they got different editions of certain encyclopedias and stuff, so it took us a while to get the actual right edition.
Right. Once we got it, it says the exact same thing we're going to read. Joel 3 and 3, I think.
Oh, that's like the 80 version?
Yeah, I think the 84 or 56, one of those.
Yeah, I think it was in my cart then. I have to decide between food and book.
Cap always making those life decisions between a book
and food.
But I could get the book now.
All praises.
Israel. Israel, make sure you donate to the Captain. Israel, make sure you donate to the Captain Joel Book Fund.
Yo,
Like you said, sometimes, $1 a day keep the flies away. You know the picture, how they have in Haiti with the young kid in Haiti with the flies? Oh, was it Haiti? Okay, sorry.
Everything was in
not
Haiti.
Haiti.
Everything was in Haiti.
I'm sorry. I thought it was in Haiti.
That's Ethiopia.
That's Ethiopia?
Cap, that's not Haiti.
I'm sorry.
That's Somalia, man. Cap.
I'm sorry.
You know damn well that wasn't no Haiti,
Hey, you forgive me? Also the quad?
Cap, every day, man. Forgive me every day, man. I can't help it. I keep throwing prayers for you. I gotta double it up now. I gotta double up the
No
prayers.
flies in children's spaces in Haiti, man.
Okay.
That's bad.
Joel,
And you know that, man. You know that. You're one of the reasons to talk about Haiti again, man.
Oh, man.
Israel, according to Cap, everything happened in
Everything
Haiti.
happens in Haiti, man. The Joel 3 and 2.
Hey, listen, man. I guess we deserve it, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man.
The most I did say that, man, gonna make us base. So.
He did, but damn, man.
guess-
Cap,
I know,
Cap,
man.
Cap making y'all more base.
More base, yo.
I love my brothers, man.
It's adding to the punishment.
Yeah, man, damn.
Supposed to have mercy.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Jeez, mercy on me.
Yo, you keep
Listen, Haiti,
Hey,
damn.
can I read the scripture, please?
Joel 3 and 2. Joel 3 and 2, Cap. Go
Joel
ahead.
chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And will plead with them there for my
Stop from
people.
verse 1. Stop from verse 1. Let me read to verse 6.
Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and
The
Jerusalem.
Lord is saying he's going to return us from our captivity, Judah and Jerusalem, representing Judah and the remnants and all the tribes of Israel eventually. Go ahead.
I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
Plead means he will destroy. God doesn't beg. He destroyed. When he says he's going to plead, he means he's going to destroy. Go ahead.
Whom they have scattered among the nations,
Whom they have scattered among the nations. The nations have done this. Go ahead.
and parted.
And the land, is his land not parted? Hell yeah, his land is parted. Here's the crazy part about this scripture here. We usually equate this scripture to Israel, right? But if you examine the geography of Israel, Israel is part of Northeast Africa. They parted that too. They built the Suez Canal to divide Northeast Africa from the Near East, because that's all one big landmass. So they parted, not only did they part the land of Israel, that little portion of land they parted between the Israelis and the Palestinians, they parted Africa too, which is our land as well. And then they came to this side of the world and they parted our land here too. Now it's North, South, and Central America when it's all the same. So this scripture extends far beyond just like Africa alone, but in this instance it's referring to Africa. But just on a whole scale, to bring it all together, they parted our land, period. They parted it. So read on.
And they have cast lots for my people. They have given a boy for an harlot. And
Giving a boy for a harlot mean they made the men breeders. Go ahead.
And sold a girl for wine,
Sold our women for wine, got drunk, and they even raped our women as well. Go ahead.
that they might drink.
That they might drink. Go ahead.
Yea. And what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Now, Tyre and Zidon. Tyre is not two nations. Tyre is the city of the Zidonians. The Zidonians were Canaanites. Okay? So when it says Tyre and Zidon, it's referring to the same nation of Hamites. Tyre is the city of Zidon. Zidon or Sidon are Sidonians. Sidonians are Canaanites. That's their name. Sidon, Canaan, these are Hamites. All right? That's their homie in them. That's who this is. Because remember, when we conquered the Promised Land, they ended up migrating into Africa further in. And when we took over Carthage, that was Zidon, New Tyre, they called it. When we took over that, when Alexander the Great conquered them, we pushed them out of there too.
Right.
So Canaan, they hate us. They hated us. So when we took over those parts of Africa that originally belonged to the Hamites, particularly the Canaanites or Zidonians, they had gained a great hatred towards us. Okay, and so when we took over and gained like colonies and started established kingdoms and so forth in Africa, they were under our tribute. And so once we were conquered, once the Portuguese came along and the African chieftains joined forces with them, and they saw the civil war amongst us, they said, okay, we're we're going to ally ourselves with this group and with the Portuguese, help them overthrow this group, then overthrow them. And that's what took place, civil war. Likewise, the same way Edom took over Spain and Portugal, it took advantage of what? The civil war, the division among us. Same thing happened. We're going to go into history. Lord's will, after this eventually ends, we're going to go into that. Because this history takes place during and after the expulsions. Israel was already in Africa. So it takes place kind of like, more than likely afterwards. Okay? Let's read on. Part of my land, verse 3. No, verse 4, yes.
Yeah. And what have ye to do with me, Tyre and Zidon?
What have you do to me, O Tyre and Zidon? Go ahead.
And all the coasts of Palestine.
All the coasts of Palestine. Well, who inhabits Palestine today? Arabs. Ishmael inhabits Palestine today, which would be our land. Now, remember, when the Spanish Inquisition took place and we were expelled and the expulsion took place of our people, remember, when we first, let me go back. Let me rephrase that. When the conquest began and we were under the Arabic Islamic regime of conquering most of Africa and into Spain and Portugal, we also took over Scotland as well. There was a black king of Scotland named Dub. And I've read that. They say that he's the ancestor of King James. I got to look more into that. But there was the first black king of Scotland. His name was Dub, D-U-B, which means black. Something to black. I think shout out to Officer Kazak for sending me that information this week. But the Moors, we took over Scotland also. We took Scotland, we took Ireland, we took Britain, we took, remember the Venetians, that's us. We took over Ireland, we took over Scotland. That's where King Arthur them come from, or Chief Arthur, King Arthur took place. Arthur Ab Murig and so forth, or whatever his name is. Arthurus Ab Murig, right? Tudrig. Arthurus Ab Tudrig, and his father Murig Ab Tudrig.
Right, yes, sir.
Right? Whatever. So that was us taking over. So when we took over, we had Scotland, we had Ireland, we had Spain, we had Portugal, we had South France, Septimania, we had France, we had Rome. We had the earth on lock. We weren't righteous, we weren't holy, we were in different ideologies, but we still were ruling. Okay?
Digging that book, The Bretons, is perfect for that.
Ancient Bretons, yeah, it definitely goes into that. But Dub, I think they told you Dub means black. Yes.
Hey, do I have that book?
You should have Modern Ancient Bretons by McRitchie. You definitely should have that book.
I don't think I got that. That's why I was going through hardship.
But yeah,
it goes into that. But my point is that what happened was when we were ruling, remember we showed you before during the time we were ruling, we had taifas. Taifas were different colonies from which different Muslim rulers or sultans were ruling over Spain and Portugal. And we started fighting over territories. Once that happened, Esau saw opportunity and he took it. Likewise, when we were in Africa, you had the kingdom of Yorubas, you had the Igbos over here, you had the Lanis here, and we were all tribal. We were ruling, we were fighting each other. And Ham and Edom was like, they're divided amongst themselves. Let's side with that group to help them attack this group, then we'll overthrow them. Likewise, in the Americas, you had the Aztecs fighting against the Incas and Mayans. And said, okay, white man came over here, the Spanish said, let's help this tribe overthrow that tribe, then we'll overthrow them. Same thing, divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. That was always the heathen's way of defeating us, by making sure we stay divided. All right? But let's read on. Where we at? Verse 4. Again, I'm sorry.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense?
Will you pay me back because I didn't choose you as my people? Go ahead.
And if you recompense me,
if you get back at me, go ahead.
Swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
I'm going to get back at you even worse, because these heathens felt like they were getting back at our God because our God didn't choose them as his people. See, the nations know who God chose as his people, and they hate God for it. That's why they despise us. They despise us because they know that our God did not choose them despite making them. That's like a parent having a bunch of kids, but he has that favorite. And the other siblings hate that sibling because he's the favorite.
Like Joseph.
Same thing, except it's heathens and us. Remember, we're the youngest. That's crazy. Joseph was the youngest.
Right.
And Jacob, our nation, is the youngest. And his brothers did what? Put him in slavery. What did our heathen brothers do to us? Put us in slavery.
Damn, D.
Parallel.
They're very, very parallel. And then what happened in the end? Joseph did what? He rose in
Started
power.
rule. And he
gained
told him he was
power.
going to roll over them.
And told me he's going to rule over them.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Damn.
All praise.
Damn.
Yeah. History's parallel too. Joseph's life is parallel to Israel's plight and rulership also.
And Joseph was in prison.
And Joseph was in prison too. He was in
very long
captivity for a
time.
long time.
Remember Isaiah 14?
Yep.
It's because you didn't open a prison house to my people.
You're right.
Damn.
So Joseph's life is very, very much parallel to our nation's plight and our heathen brothers, or not brothers, but heathen siblings, I should say. All right.
And Joseph had the nice jacket, the nice fur.
He was a favorite.
You know, he had a nice fur. You know how we.
Yeah, he was flossing. And he was prophesying too. He was prophesying. The brothers hated him for it.
Yeah.
We prophesied the heathens hate us for it.
It was a Lequac Mata jacket.
Oh my God.
Hey, we would love for it to be a LaQuat Matan jacket.
Oh God. No, don't
That's
do
what it was
Don't-
back then. You know?
That's what it was back then. Okay.
Yo,
No,
come back,
no,
man. Come
no.
home.
It's a,
Wow.
Come home, LaQuat.
Where we at? Verse 5.
Verse 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Right. Tyre and Zidon and Palestine, the Ishmaelites, they took our silver and our gold. When they conquered us, they took those things from us. We had those things in our possession, and they took it from us. Go ahead.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold into the Grecians.
So we know it's referring to this side of the world. It's referring to the other side of the world. Because it says the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, the remnants of us who remain in Jerusalem, who fled into Africa, further into Africa, have they sold to who?
Sold unto the Grecians.
So these nations sold us unto the Grecians. Now the Grecians became what? Romans. And the Romans became what? They became the French. They became the Portuguese. They became the Spanish. These are Latin nations. Greeks are Latin nations. Roman, Latin nations. France, Spain, and Portugal are basically the remnants of a dead Roman Empire. That's what they are. The language as well is dead Latin. It's run down, diluted Latin. It's Spanish. It's Latin and Arabic mixed together from the caves. That's what Portuguese, French, and Spanish is. It's cave garbage.
bastard language.
Bastard cave garbage. Remnants of scrabbled together Latin. That's what it is. That's why I say Latin. That's why I say Latin itself is a dead language. It's a dead language. It's dead because it died when we conquered them and pushed them in them caves for them 700 years. They forgot that language real quick. They got real base. It was a rap. So they scrambled what they could. Okay, we'll use some Arabic here and like they did with the Hebrew. Same thing. We're going to use Ben Yehuda. We'll take some Russian over here, some German here, some Khazar here, and merge together and call it Yiddish. Same thing. BS languages, BS dialect, all garbage. All right? So we on. Where we at?
We have verse 6.
That the children of.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
So the children. So who's the EF sold? The Tyre means Sidonians and the Palestinians, the Arabs, sold us unto the Grecians. And I'm going to prove it to y'all. We got an encyclopedia that makes it very historically clear who exactly sold us to the Grecians. It says it verbatim.
Verbatim.
Verbatim in the encyclopedia what this is talking about. Verbatim. All right? And it tells you who the children of Judah and Jerusalem is in the same encyclopedia. It says it. Go ahead.
that ye might remove them far from their border.
Right. When they conquered us out of Africa, those parts of Africa, they removed us far from our land. They took our land over and parted it. The Palestinians took over Israel. The Hamites took over, well, they gained dominion over Africa. And our people who were left behind in Africa were eventually, of course, they ended up staying there and got Christianized by the Portuguese and the Spanish who colonized the land. And you have what is called what do they call it? What do they call it? Give me a minute. They call it, give me a minute.
What you looking for, D?
Not Balfour Declaration. What other thing? What's the other thing called? They scattered Africa. They separated, divided among themselves.
Oh, that's you said it's not that was during the Balfour Declaration.
Is that what it's called? Balfour Declaration?
Yeah. In the late 1800s.
Balfour
Where
Declaration.
King Leopold was given the Congo.
Right.
Balfour
Congolese.
Declaration. Right. I'm thinking about Berlin Conference. I'm bugging. The Balfour Declaration. I mixed those two together because of the B.
Right, that's right. When they
The
scattered,
Balfour
they
Declaration.
all took parts of Africa.
Right. It's called the Balfour Declaration. The Balfour Declaration.
What happened at the conference, though?
Berlin Conference is the Jewish thing. They took the land. That was 1917.
Yeah.
I mixed those.
I think
No. They coincide, Deke.
Yeah.
They coincide, Deke. The Berlin Conference, that's when they talked about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's when they talked about it.
Taking
They're
Israel.
separated.
The declaration is when they actually separate.
Right.
I have it right here.
No, the Balfour Declaration was when they placed it. Was the plan to place the.
We can pull it
Right.
up. Pull it up on the
I have it right
Wikipedia.
here.
You can pull it up on the
I don't make sure- I don't
Put them
mix-
on the land.
I always confuse two.
No,
Berlin
Balfour
and
Declaration is the Berlin Conference. The Balfour Declaration is with Rothschilds when they
Right.
placed the Jewish, so-called
1917.
Jewish.
Right.
Yes.
Right, and what's
Establishing
and what's
It's Berlin Conference.
Berlin Conference, yes.
That's for King Leopold, yeah.
Thank you, Berlin Conference, not Balfour
When
Declaration.
they
that predates
divided,
that.
Yeah.
They divided Africa.
Yeah.
Berlin,
So-
the Berlin Conference is Africa. Right?
Yes, 'cause that
And
happened
the
in
Balfour-
1890s.
Right, and the Balfour Declaration is
1917,
After that,
yeah.
after that, yes. I don't want to confuse the
Yeah.
two.
I
Yes,
was like 1894.
I always
the
confuse it with Berlin and Balfour. Always
Balfour,
confused.
yeah.
That's why I say which one again. Right. So the Berlin Conference is when they divided. They parted Africa, divided it up. They took South Africa and took those tribes in South Africa and gave them different tribal names to cause division. They did that. They also did the same thing with our people. They renamed the lands like Nigeria, like Liberia was I think a white woman named it Liberia. She named it that. Liberia is not the original name of that land. It was Igbo land. We know this. Remember that before.
Right.
All that was Igbo land.
I think
The
Asia-
bottom was Igbo land.
Negro
And the
land.
Negro land, Igbo land was the bottom. The top was Mauritania, land of the blacks. So black land on top, black land on bottom. It was Israel here, Israel there. White men said, nope, divided Nigeria. We're going to call this, well, I know Mali was ours too. Mali.
Right, Mali.
But it was still Igbo land. It was just those lands, it was those lands within Igbo land. Negro land, Mauritania, same place. But the white man came and divided the land up, chopped it around, and Berlin Conference, and named it this, named it that, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. All right, so the children of Judah and Jerusalem, which would be the so-called blacks, the West Indians and Haitians and so forth, the top Negroid tribes, they were taken over here. Well, I know a lot of Haitians were brought from was it Benin?
Benin and Whiter.
Benin and Whiter, yes. And then a lot of Ephraim and Manasseh were taken from Yoruba. And a lot of our people, the Afro-Mexicans, they were taken, like Jasper Yanga, were taken from Igbo. That's still the same. That's like a offshoot. Then you have the Edo people. That's a branch of Yorubas, them. A lot of Yorubans were taken to the Latin American speaking countries because that's Northern Kingdom. Yoruba go back to Jeroboam, king of Ephraim. So Esau knew. You got dumb niggas saying, "Oh, how'd they know where to go?" They knew where Israel was, idiots. Remember, if the Ammonite can explain to Halophanes and Judith
Right.
the history of the Israelites during that time, why wouldn't Ham not know, idiot?
And Dick, if you look, was it Genesis 17:11, when the Most High say put a difference between
Right, the Egyptian, Exodus 11 and 7.
So we are different than them.
Right, but
our culture and everything like that
Right,
was different.
right, but they knew maybe the kingdom of Whiter. The Hamites that were there said, "Listen, take them." They knew who was not them and who was. There's Hamites did not sell their own people into slavery. That would be detrimental to their own to their own kingdom.
Exactly.
Why would you sell your own people to the enemy to your ally?
Only
To sell that's self-defeating. You're going to sell your opponent, or you're going to sell a nation outside your own, not your own. That doesn't make no damn sense.
Dick, only niggas do that.
Only Negro, right? Now
Yeah,
you did have
Judas.
now you did have the occasional offshoots of ignorant ass wicked niggas that would go up and sell our people to slavery to the Hamites. But guess what happened to them? They got sold too. Because I ask the question all the time. African Americans sold Africans. Okay, name me some wealthy black families like the Rothschilds and Bilderbergs that have owed money from selling their own people into slavery today. Name them. Name 5 black families that possess old money from their forefathers selling their own people into slavery in Africa. Name some. Just name it. Just name them. Ask that question to anybody that says that nonsense. Ask them. You may have a few Uncle Tom families, but not as many as the white ones. Not nearly as many. The same ones that helped sell their own people, which is a minority, that helped branch off. You remember you had kingdoms of our own people saying, we're not going to sell our own people to slavery. We'll sell our war captives. They were selling their own people to slavery because it was civil war. So they would sell their war captives or criminals or their deviants, their criminals to the white man as slaves. You know, because that's what kings do. Get rid of your enemies, sell them to the enemy. Get rid of your criminals, sell them to the enemy. That's what they were doing. They weren't just going around saying, hey, give me your son. Here. No. That was not what was happening. That's not what was happening. And then when they realized what Esau was doing, they said, okay, no, don't do that. Because their slavery was different from their slavery, Esau's slavery, was different from our servitude. It was different. It's like according to Leviticus 25. We had 7 years, they go free, they work their debt off. That's how we did it. But Esau was taking them and beating them, and they was like, yo, we didn't want that. So there was a lot of confusion with that. But nonetheless, those of our people who were selling their war captives, which are our own people because of civil war, or their criminals among themselves, they were eventually themselves were overthrown and sold, or were overthrown and colonized and pushed Christianity and lost their identity regardless. So despite who they were selling, they still fell victim to they still fell victim as well. You understand? So let's read on. Let's go back to the book again. Go back to the book.
All right, yes, sir. For this purpose, the Portuguese needed to occupy only thin strips along the coast, leaving the interior under the control of local rulers. As in the New World, the colonizers often mounted the pious expectation.
So it says the Portuguese needed to occupy. So the first colonizers of Africa were the Portuguese. The Portuguese. Go ahead.
Needed to occupy only thin strips along the coast, leaving the interior under the control of local rulers. As in the New World, the colonizers often mouthed the pious expectation that the subject populations would ultimately adopt Christianity.
See? So they were pridefully, no, listen, these guys are going to accept white Jesus. The same mindset they had in Africa to colonize us and to indoctrinate us in Africa was the same pious or prideful mindset they had to do to us in the New World. Because Christianity is a weapon used to do what? To annihilate a race. What race? The children of God. The Israelites. That's who. Go ahead.
But they rarely made the necessary effort to penetrate the often mountainous, jungle-covered interior of their colonies.
Meaning Esau could not travel in Africa the way he did in Americas. Because Africa is dense. Africa is huge. So he couldn't conquer all of us. We had colonies in Africa. He couldn't get all of us. He couldn't do it. That's why some of us remain in Africa today. He couldn't get all of us.
And they was also dying off in
Africa. They were dying. Their bodies are not built for that environment. That hot ass sun.
To the third
and
generation.
That pale skin. Oh no, you ain't making it. You're gonna cook like an egg.
And also in the jungle, if you don't know certain type of food,
the poison or the lions will tear you up, boy.
Yeah.
And Israel, we guys, we were good. Animals love us. We good.
Because it's like when you're watching those type of Discovery, and they show you certain plant, like if there certain places that could go and get water,
right?
Just on a plant,
right?
They'll get water to drink and certain type of food to eat. If you don't know those areas,
you're done.
Yep.
Right, like the movie. There's a movie called with Michael Douglas. Oh, it was a lion. A lion kept killing him. Forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
Into the Darkness, something like that. Into Darkness.
Yeah, I forgot.
This lion was just tearing Esau up. They killed him in the end, but the lion was massive. He was hunting Esau down like dogs. The main character died too. It was hilarious. Because basically the lion won, really. But the point is that shows that
Esau, you always got to show.
He always got to win, yeah. But the point is that
in the movie.
In the movie, but the point is that shows that Africa was a very hostile and very notorious environment for wild animals that Esau was not used to in Spain and Portugal that we were born and raised amongst.
Right.
I remember there's a comedian named Paul Mooney. He said when was it Paul Mooney or some comedian? He said that when the lions see us in the cage, they get excited. Oh, we're going home. When they see us in the zoo, they go, oh, they get excited. Oh, they're going home. I think it was Cat Williams.
Wow.
He made a joke about that, about how when lions in the cage are all depressed, they see black folks go, ooh, niggas, great. We're going back home. Because you know who enslaved them.
Yeah, the guys, they're the guys.
Right.
They come to free us.
Right. Like the time, I think there was a couple, a black couple, and they left their child. Remember, they caught hell for that. They left their child wandered into a gorillas.
Yep, it was the
gorilla, and the monkey took the boy and took care of him. Didn't hurt him, just took him. And then the people came, and the monkey moved out the way and let them take him.
Yeah.
Took care of the boy. Then another instance took place where a white woman had a gorilla and he ripped the face off. So you get my point, right? You get my point. They like us. So where we at?
In Angola, for example, the boundaries of which extended further than those of the present Portuguese colony.
In Angola, a lot of slaves taken from Angola were brought to Brazil. Okay, go ahead.
Set by the Conference of Berlin. And there it is. Set by the Conference of Berlin.
There we go. Set by the all praise to the Lord. Set by the Conference of Berlin. Set by the Conference of Berlin, the Berlin Conference. The chase for Africa, the scattering. Go ahead.
In 1885 to 86.
There you go.
The first Portuguese governor, Paulo Dias de Neves, was reproached by Jesuit missionaries for his laxity in occupying the countryside, where there is no better sermon than the sword and the iron rod. Expa e Vera de Ferro. After receiving in 1571 a royal charter to exploit a coastal area of some 125 miles and its hinterland as a semi-private concession, this grandson of Bartolomeu de Dias, the first European to circumnavigate Africa in 1486, learned from experience that war and conquest often resulted merely in the flight of the natives deeper into the jungles and the drying up of the vital reservoir of manpower.
Right. If we go in there and we just go and keep fighting, they'll just run further into the interiors of the land. We'll lose our chance to enslave them and use them as manpower to culture the land. So it's counterproductive to fight against them and run them away or kill them and have no slaves. So we got to figure something out. What do they do? Let's teach them white Jesus.
Let's deal wisely.
Let's deal wisely with them.
You call missionaries.
Right, missionaries, Jesuits, which means crafty one. That's what Jesuit means. It means crafty one. That's what Jesuit means.
And guess who I think is a graduate from that school? Joe Biden.
Wow. Oh, the Jesuit school? Wow. Your God,
Joe
Joe
Biden. And the vice president for Trump.
Pence.
Yep.
Wow,
Like
Jesuit
both
school.
graduate Jesuit school.
Wow, there you go.
Yep.
That's your guy right there. The old man that falls up the stairs. Not down the stairs. He fall up the stairs. He's 125.
Yo.
I think him and Moses went to the same college. Him and Moses. Where we at? Went to the same Egyptian college. Him and Moses. Where we at?
Trade in human, next page. Trade in human merchandise, pursued even by some Dominican friars,
Jesuits. Go ahead.
was indeed a very lucrative occupation.
So Dominican friars. So the word Dominican comes from a man named Saint Dominic. Saint Dominic was a man that was born around, I think, the 1100s, 1200s, and he established a Christian order where he believed that his mother had a dream of a dog carrying a torch around the world, and that was a vision that enlightened him to believe that it was his destiny to spread Christian BS all around the world. And so therefore, he was called the term Dominic. The word Dominican means Domini as in God, and canis as in dog of God. So Dominican or Dominicanus means dog of the Lord, faithful dog of God. Damn. So when you call yourself a Dominican, you're a dog of God. You're a dog. That's what Dominican means. It's a Christian Jesuit order, Saint Dominic, faithful dog of God. All right? So if you pride yourself in being Dominican, because you're dumb Dominican also. Where we at?
A slave purchased in Africa for a few squares of palm cloth could be sold in Peru for 4 to 6 pesos.
Damn.
Yet it was decidedly cheaper to obtain the 10,000 to 15,000 slaves who, in the 1570s and 1580s, represented the annual average of exports. In the 17th century, this average is said to have declined to the 10,000, and in 1700 to 1730 to but 6,000. From the Angolan king, who sold prisoners, as he claimed, in order not to execute them.
See? That's our brother. In order to what?
In order not to execute them.
So it says his prisoners. His prisoners.
Like
Where we at?
somebody on death row.
Where's it at? Right. Rather than kill them, I'll just sell them off.
Make some money.
Make money. Right? They're worth more dead than alive than dead.
Right.
I'll just sell them. These are our people doing this. Now, was it right? No. But these guys were criminals. So rather than have them rotting in prison, and take up space, we'll take them out of jail and sell them off. That's what we were doing. Go ahead, get rid of them. Go ahead.
In order not to execute them. In East Africa, on the other hand, the Portuguese, though trying to reduce Arab competition,
Trying to whoa. Trying to do what now?
the Portuguese, though trying to reduce Arab competition in trade and shipping.
See that? So there's a competition between the Portuguese and the Arabs. Now these Arabs here are Ottoman Turks. These are Ottoman. Remember, that's my point. I forgot. Earlier on, we conquered Spain and Portugal. You kind of sidetracked. When we conquered Spain and Portugal, it was under the Islamic Arab regime. And you had a majority of the military of conquering Spain and Portugal was Jake, and the minority was Arab, because the Arabs were there for ideological mentorship. They were the teachers and so forth that kept us in the ideology of their nonsense. We were the warriors. We did all the work. All the work and fighting and laboring and taking and colonizing, that was us. To the point where it became all Moor domination, just all Jake at that point.
Right.
Later on, it was just the Arabs are just get out of here. The Arabs are gone. We're the warriors. We're the fighters. We don't need you here. Get out of here. We got it from here, and took it over. But after that, when the Ottoman Turks under Mahmud the First, they conquered the Byzantine Empire. They conquered Constantinople. Okay, they conquered the Byzantine Empire in 1453 of May 14th. Okay, Mahmud the First conquered the Holy Roman Empire. He conquered it, us, and they were under Islam. These are Edomites and Arabs mixed together. White, I call them red Arabs. Red Arabs or white Euro Arabs, whatever. That's what they are. Euro Arabs, Edom Arabs, Edom Ishmaelites, whatever. They became Turks because they ruled over Istanbul, Turkey, which is Constantinople, which is Byzantine Empire. That's the capital. All right. They took over from that area, Europe, and they began to push forward westward, and started conquering parts of Africa under the Islamic regime as Arabs, still Arabs. And then so you have Ishmael and you have Islamic Ishmaelites, Turks, pushing this way after they conquered us in Rome, conquered the Roman Empire here, right? Our Roman Empire. They pushed over. As they're coming this way, we're fleeing from Portugal. We're fleeing from Edom here, right from Spain and Portugal into Africa. So we ran from one oppressor into another. And they began to sell us among themselves. That's what took place. So you had Arab competition and Portuguese going back and forth regarding enslaving and trading and shipping. That's what was happening. You had the trans-Saharan slave trade. That's what this is going into. Mm-hmm. And the Portuguese, which became what? The transatlantic slave trade competition. Competing for business, which we were the business. So go ahead.
And Dick, that's exactly Joel right there. You got the
That's
Africans.
Joel. Yep, the Africans, the Arabs, and the Grecians. Right, there you go. Right, there you go. Welcome back, Cat. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Deke, going back to the Angolan king that sold prisoners and so forth, I read over a book where a king from the Congo did the same thing. He was selling prisoners. He trusted in Esau. Esau trusted him to go and learn Christianity. They put him on a ship, and he ended up in South Carolina.
Wow, a king.
A king.
A king. Let's get there real quick. Deuteronomy 28 about your king.
He ended up in Charleston, South Carolina.
Was that Solomon? Not Solomon. That was a prince. That wasn't a king.
Oh,
that guy's name was Solomon. He's a prince, though. He wasn't a king.
right. This is the actual king.
Wow. Deuteronomy 28 about the king, your king.
Mm-hmm. The Lord,
Verse
20, verse 20. Is it 25? Let me see.
36. Verse 36.
Yep, that's it.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
Yeah, Christianity and Islam.
Just like you just said.
Just like we just said.
You learn Christian.
You learn Christianity. Right, same thing. Curses repeat themselves. The curses are repetitious. All right? So where we at? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. In order not to execute them. In East Africa, on the other hand, the Portuguese, though trying to reduce Arab competition in trade and shipping, relied largely on the long-established Arab slave hunters and merchants to supply the much sought-after commodity.
Us. Go ahead.
Portuguese interests in Angola and most other African colonies thus differed fundamentally from that in the American and Asiatic possessions.
The American, North Americas, and of course, the Near East and so forth, Asiatic possessions, which is us also. Go ahead.
Apart from securing for the conquerors and ultimately helping them to dominate the spice routes to the East Indies, Africa offered few opportunities for the exploitation of its natural resources under the conditions of the time, except for the relatively small gold mines in São Jorge da Mina.
Yeah, St. George da Mina. Elmina.
Gold Coast.
That's the freaking slave fort. The door of no return. Elmina Castle. They built that there. That's the fort where they built slaves. Like the one in America is called El Moro. There's one in Cuba and there's one in Puerto Rico. The one in Puerto Rico is bigger and older. El Moro means the wall. But they built the fort to keep other Spaniards out from taking their slaves away from them. They built forts. The Spanish, Portuguese built forts to keep other invading Europeans from taking their colonies and their slaves. They built forts. Elmina Castle is one in Africa. You have El Moro in Cuba and Puerto Rico, two of those in the Americas. Same demon doing the same damn thing in different places against the same people. Go ahead.
And a few places in East Africa, where the colonists had to depend entirely on native transportation. The quest for precious metals proved disappointing. The main objective in the occupation of African lands, therefore, was the supply of slaves for both the home country and the American colonies.
See that? Damn, go ahead.
Slave trade had been carried on throughout the African continent from time immemorial. East Africa, in particular, had long been a major source of supply of unfree manpower for the Arab countries, and through Arab traders for India and other Asiatic lands.
Woo! They brought slaves to India, man. That's your CDs over there. That's some CDs. They go, the Lord is bringing this information out for a very, very important, very, very important reason. Very important reason. India brought to India and other Asiatic lands. China, Asiatic lands is the Near East and the Far East. The Near East is what you know as the Middle East, which is nonsense. And then you have the Asiatic goes to the further east is where China, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, that's Far East. That's Asiatic too.
Right. There's Negroes over there.
Negroes
Whether y'all
there.
believe it or not.
Over there.
We over there.
Madagascar, all them areas. Ishmael took us way to the other side. But Ishmael was better at hiding it from East. Ishmael's more confidential. And Moab is too, with their slave trading. Edom is more open. Edom can't hide it. It's just evident.
And Deacon, a lot of the slaves Ishmael was bringing over to India was with the CDs was all the way up to the 1890s.
Wow.
So even when they said American slavery ended in the 1860s, that wasn't so.
Right,
that was American
on that
slavery.
side.
That was
Right.
on that side. This side, they were still, or on the east side, like I said, they were still bringing slaves over to that area.
Right. And even
Sri
presently.
Lanka, yep.
Even presently. Still having the slaves now. Well, I'm going to go into that later on. Not today, but later on in the series. Go ahead.
This trade was greatly facilitated by the general submissiveness of the population to its rulers. Noted as early as the 14th century by the famous traveler
1300s. Go ahead.
and keen observer Ibn Battuta. The assertion of the Angolan king that he sold only persons who would otherwise be executed refers to the fact that the numerous prisoners taken in the interminable tribal wars.
See that? The assertion of the Angolan king that he had sold only persons who would otherwise be executed refers to the fact that the numerous prisoners taken in the interminable tribal wars. So he had a whole bunch of prisoners. He said, yo, I can't keep all of them alive. I have my own people to feed. I got to feed my prisoners too. The hell with that, I'm going to get rid of them. There's too many because we were fighting each other. And Esau and Ishmael sat back and said, look at them fighting each other. Okay, we're going to use it to our advantage. Let him sell his prisoners, which are our people, to us. We're doing him a service. Go ahead, lead on.
Were liable to execution when no opportunity for gainful disposal of them was offered by traders.
Right, so either if no one bought them, he would kill them. If no one bought them, they were worthy of death. They were prisoners. They were prisoners, murderers, whatever, criminals, war captives. If he couldn't sell them, he'd kill them. Because that was their lot anyway. Go ahead.
The deification of rulers by some African tribes contributed its share to the lack of resistance, even to their own chieftains, who sold them into slavery out of sheer greed.
See that? And the deification of rulers by some African tribes contributed its share to the lack of resistance even to their own chieftains, who sold them into slavery out of sheer greed. So you have some chiefs that were just greedy, they sold them anyway. They sold them as slaves, they were greedy. But they themselves were eventually overthrown. Go ahead.
That is why this to us
objectionable
trade in human beings was as much the fault of the tribal leadership itself as it was of the predominantly Arab slave hunters and the Western traders.
Right, our people were at fault just as much as the traders themselves because we were selling our own based upon not applying the commandments of God. But eventually we got conquered as well, colonized and conquered as well, even after doing that. It didn't benefit us at all. Go ahead. That's why recently you had people with Africa saying, we want to apologize to you for selling you. I think it was Ghana. They said we want to apologize because we were involved in the slave trade. We were partly involved. They were. And the sorry ain't going to fix that. Because at the end of the day, even though Ghana apologized, that land is colonized. Esau run all of Africa. So despite them doing that, ain't no wealthy Ghanaians saying, yeah, I'm wealthy because I own slaves and my grandfather. No. Nope. Ghana is hoping that blacks move back there to bring that money over there because Ghana is hoping and betting and praying that African Americans, which we are, moving back over there, bring some revenue and resources back to the land that was once wealthy and powerful when we were there already, before the Portuguese came and colonized it, or Spanish came and colonized it, or Europeans in general came and colonized it and robbed it of its resources during the Berlin Conference and up until present. Go ahead.
One may also understand why even such a humane moralist as Antonio Vieira saw nothing reprehensible in the slavery system. Unlike Brazil, Angola and the other Portuguese possessions in both West and East Africa had some pre-colonial Jewish antecedents by the very nature of the extant documentation. To be sure, Jewish influences south of the Sahara are...
Wait, read it again?
Yes, sir. Unlike Brazil, Angola and the other Portuguese possessions in both West and East Africa had some pre-colonial Jewish antecedents.
So you had Israelites that resided there in these areas prior to the colonizing. Pre-colonial Jewish antecedents. I think that means they were there before.
Right. They was already there.
They're already there.
Pre-colonial.
Pre-colonial, right. Antecedents, right?
By the very nature of the extant documentation. To be sure, Jewish influences south of the Sahara are shrouded in obscurity.
Because Israelites were there. It's not obscurity. Israelites were in this area.
We were there.
Before the Portuguese came there and enslaved them in these areas. Go ahead.
Yet, it appears that even before the rise of Islam,
before Islam came around,
some Jewish traders and refugees from persecution found their way not only into East African localities south to Ethiopia, in which country a sizable remnant of ancient Jews, the Falashas, has survived to the present day.
That's our people too. Go ahead.
But also into the Central and West African lands.
The Falashas are the ones who the Israelis are abusing and beating up over there in Israel. They call them Ethiopian Jews and call them a tribe of Dan. Which is a lie, because then when you ask the Falashas themselves who they come from, they say, "Oh, we come from Nehemiah and Ezra. We're from Babylon." There's a video of a guy saying it. He goes, "I did a video where I showed it. The guy says, "Oh, we descend from the time of Babylon with Ezra and Nehemiah." I said, "Well, if they come from that time, they're not Dan, but the Israelis call them Dan because the Israelis said that they're Judah. So if they're Judah and they're Judah, why you look like that? Why they look like that and you look like that? Because they know that, so let's call them Dan. They're the scattered ones. No. You're the imposters.
Right.
And they're the original ones. That's why they hate them so much.
And Deacon, and that's why you see a lot of these tribes. There's a book I have that goes into the different locations of the tribes. So they go to Madagascar. Right. The Jews of that, they go into like Ghana. And they have one of the tribes.
Give me the Gabi map. The Gabi map. Go ahead.
You know what map I'm talking about? Let me see if I pull it up. So Esau or Amalek has a map of all the Israelites categorize themselves as the true Jews. But what they do is they go to those locations and they Judaize them.
Yeah.
Judaize them.
The Lembas, the Falashas, the
I think I know a map.
So they try to get to them before we can get to them.
Right.
They
basically indoctrinate them over there. Christianity. It's Christianity all over again.
Right. That's not it. That's not the map.
Not the one. You know, ain't the one. It's a red one. The red map.
Right there.
Yes. Now, as for Gabi, that's what I mean. I mean that one. Don't you go to Ethiopia. Go over to Ethiopia.
Blow it up.
Nubia. Abyssinia is Ethiopia. Very good. You see Jews there?
Yes, sir. It says Hebrews.
You see Hebrews there? Hebrews. That's right there. Abyssinia is Ethiopia. All right. That's where Nipsey Hussle is from. That's where Tiffany Haddish is from. That's where the Weeknd is from.
Right. Yep.
These are all people. These are our people.
Israelites.
Y'all say, oh, Hamites. Those are Hamites.
Hamites.
You are unlearned idiots. Tiffany Haddish is of that same area. What's her name? Ilfanesh, the sister, the actress that plays in Godfather of Harlem, his wife. Forrest Whitaker, his wife,
right.
Ilfanesh, lovely sister. She's from the same area as well. She's from the Semitic lineage of people in that area. Because you have Semites and Hamites in that area. She's from the Semitic lineage, okay? Like Nipsey Hussle was. Nipsey Hussle actually went back here, and he realized that when he moved, he left America, went back home, and learned a whole new respect for his women. Because he said they were so nice over there and so humble and so friendly to him, he didn't know how to respond. He said, "Yo, I gotta think different now, because you could take advantage of them because they're so humble and loving over there." His whole mindset just changed when he went over there. So he came back with a whole. He started building things for black folks. He started becoming more of a businessman, helping his people, because he learned to love a newfound love for his people when he went home to this area and then came back here.
And they kill him.
And then he was killed afterwards by some stupid nigga that live over here.
Yeah,
Babylonian nigga.
I think that was a setup.
It might have been. It very well might have been.
Because he found out a new thing now. He'd be like, oh, his mind frame is different.
Right, it's
So be like, yo,
changed.
this nigga's going to come here and
And,
change your mind.
and that's why they're trying to keep us out of Africa. They understand.
Right.
Once we remove ourselves from this environment and go over there, it's more loving, caring.
Right, it's your own. You're
nurturing.
surrounded by your own.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by your own.
It's not that much of a Western.
That's
No.
why you try to send money over there. Esau makes it very hard to do so. They say, oh, it's scams. Even in the areas of Africa where there's no scams, they'll say, oh, well, it's scams. No, there's not. And if there is scams, I don't care. I want to send the money over there anyway. But they
don't care.
they make it hard for you, so you get frustrated and know to send money over there. They don't want money being sent over there. The American dollar, they don't want it over there.
They understand the American dollar has a lot more power.
A
lot of stuff with the dollar.
So what do we have? But what do we have? I can't see. What do we have here? You have.
Hey,
help me out here.
Go out because it's getting pixelated a little bit. So back out, just a tab right there.
And the funny thing is also is
You need something
in
out
turn-
too?
Yes, sir.
No, 179 3 and 10.
Yes, sir. And with the slave ships, like I said, you have the Israelite camps that's saying that there's no Israelites in Africa or India, or not even their mind's not even on India at all, Deacon.
No.
Their mindset is on Africa. They're trying to just now catch up to the Israelites being
Right.
Israelites being Africa. But you got to ask yourself a question: if the vast majority of people is going to be destroyed in America, 2/3, then where's the other majority? Where's the other Israelites coming from? Right. So that makes no sense. So the majority of the remnant that's going to be delivered is not going to be from America at all.
Right.
At all.
Yep.
And Christ did tell the Pharisees that other people is going to come from the east. You're going to get mad when you see them sitting
right.
On the table having dinner with Abraham.
Right. From the
and
east.
Isaac from the east.
Right. From the east. You got it? So what do we have here? What do we have here? On Abyssinia. What does it say on top of there? The red letters. The red letters. Red letters.
I think that's
Red letters. What does it say there?
I think that's the Philoshes.
Well, that's what it says there?
Yes, sir. Blow it up.
Blow it up some. It says Philoshes. We just read that.
Yeah, it's hard to see it, but that's
Yeah, it says Philoshes right there. It says Philoshes. That's right there. Hebrew right there. I see that. Hebrew. What's that under Hebrew?
yeah, it's hard to see that.
What's that on the left? It says Darnuba. What's that in the left?
Let me get it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my damn stuff. I can't remember none of that.
Sound like a Yah something.
Yeah, I think probably Yahwists. It says Yahwists.
Yahwinism.
Yahwinism. That's us too. Yahwinism. That's us too. Observers of Yah. That's us too. Yahwists.
Yes, sir. So you have the Philoshes, you have the Halits, Hebrews right up top.
And look at Nubia on the bottom says Hebrew. We're above where the cursor go up. Yeah, right there. says Hebrew, right? That's Hebrew.
It says Jews. It says Elephantine Jews. That's not what I want. It says wait. Yemen, not Yemen Jews. Yeah, Talitha Jews. Tabitha Jews or
Tababan.
Tababan Jews. Okay, you have Falashas right there. Yep, over Abyssinia. Wallets. Yawanism is next to Darnuba. You have can't see much, but that's pretty much it. But watch this page. This page is crazy. Let's go back to the book. Watch this. How much we got left? All right. Watch this. 5 minutes. All right. Let's finish this off. Finish this page off. Some good stuff in it. Some good stuff in here. Watch.
Yeah, I already see it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, damn. Come on.
Says unlike. I'm gonna start at.
Don't start at unlike. Go to Body Nature. No, go and then starting out. No. West Africa.
Yet it appears.
Okay.
Yet it appears that even before the rise of Islam, some Jewish traders and refugees from persecution found their way not only into East African localities south of Ethiopia, in which country a sizable remnant of ancient Jews.
The persecution is referring to is Rome. 70 AD, the siege of Rome. That's the persecution is referring to. Persecution is referring to 70 AD. Go ahead.
The Falashas has survived to the present day.
Yep, they have.
But also into the Central and West African lands.
Also into the Central and West African lands is a sizable remnant amount of ancient Jews, like the Falashas, that still reside there today. Go ahead.
Starting out from the Carthaginian.
Starting out from where?
The Carthaginian.
There you go.
There you go.
Starting out from the Carthaginian. That's Hannibal in them. Go ahead.
And Roman possessions.
And Roman possessions.
In North Africa.
In North Africa. That's Tunisia. Carthage. Go ahead.
Some enterprising Jews seem to have ventured south in ancient and early medieval times. Following the expansion of Islam throughout North Africa.
Right. Go
In
ahead.
particular, some Arab-speaking Jews joined their Muslim compatriots in establishing trading posts among the Negro tribes on both coasts.
Among the what?
The Negro tribes on both coasts.
It's the same people. Negro tribes are the ones who were not Muslims. Go ahead.
We recall the stories told by Eldad the Danite in 9th century, Karawan, and their partially realistic historical background.
Because some of it's mythical. Like that, the Sembantian River, that's mythical. That's not real. Eldad the Danite told some facts and some is myth and nonsense. Go ahead.
Persistent oral traditions ascribe the presence of Jews among the Berber and Negro tribes of Northwest Africa.
Go back to that map again. Persistent oral traditions ascribe the presence of Jews among the Berber and Negro tribes of Northwest Africa. That's Mauritania now. That's land of blacks.
Hey, D, I got that book, right?
What book?
That book you're reading from. What book is that? What do I have?
I don't know.
Let me see the cover.
I think you probably don't.
You guys send me that too. I gotta order that.
Go down to the bottom of the map. Go down to the bottom. Negro and Berber Jews. Go down right there. Move it over. Zoom into that right there. Those black words. Come on, bring it up, blow it up some more. Yemen Jews. Yemen, that's right across from Ethiopia. Right across the water, you have right across from Ethiopia is Yemen. You can cross that, it's right across.
And I have a book when who's it? Dr. Buchanan. When he made his journey over to India, and the Jews that migrated to India, when he was asked about the Jews of Koshan, he asked them, "Hey, where are the other Jewish kingdoms, tribes? Where are they located?" Mm-hmm. He gave 66 different locations, and one of them says, "And some of our brothers, the Jews, are in Yemen."
Right.
Damn.
Yep, Yemen. Yemen Jews and Falashas. Berber, Moorish, and Negro Jews.
You want me to read
Berber, so Yemen, Jews, and Falashas, Berber, Moorish, and Negro Jews. Berber, Moorish, and Negro Jews Berber is basically neutral Israelites that didn't believe in anything or they were Christian. Moorish are basically Islamic Israelites, and Negroes were pretty much all the above, or neutral also, pagan. Read that says there the names of what?
The names in red in the Northern Sahara are...
Now, I'm sorry. Now, this box is going to give you a summary of what's on the map that I showed you. We've been showing you all the time. Go ahead.
The names in red in the northern Sahara are oases in which some Berber Judaism survives. It is estimated about 15,000 Jews are...
It says Berber Judaism. Berber Judaism survives. Go ahead.
It is estimated about 15,000 Jews are scattered through the interior.
Uh-huh.
Other names in red are places of ancient Jewish colonies. In some cases, an approximate date of settlement is added.
See that? Because Esau knows when and where Israel was in this land of Africa. They know. So we're going to finish this page up. We're going to wrap it up. Take a break. Go ahead. Remember, it says Berber Jews, Berber Judaism. Keep that in mind. Remember Angola. Angola was a king that ruled over Angola. And after he died, a certain queen took over. You remember her. Go ahead.
Persistent oral traditions ascribe the presence of Jews among the Berber and Negro tribes of northwest Africa to Jewish exiles from Khaybar in northern Arabia after they had been ousted by Muhammad.
Because Muhammad kicked a lot of us out. If you didn't subscribe to Islam, you were enslaved or we were chased out by war and persecution. Go ahead.
Time and again, more or less, substantiated rumors about...
For example, a prime example is we had a colony called Yathrib. Yathrib. 3 Jewish tribes had Yathrib. When Muhammad came along with his army and so forth, he conquered it, enslaved us, and named it Medina. Those of you who are Muslim or ex-Muslims know about Medina. It's a very, very popular name among Muslims. Go ahead.
Time and again, more or less substantiated rumors about Jewish or Judaizing tribes were reported by travelers, geographers, and chroniclers. Such tribes had played a particularly important role in the early Berber resistance to the Arab expansion.
Watch this.
As exemplified by the Jewish prophetess Daya el-Kahina.
I remember that, the prophetess. She was the Angolan king. She took his place when he died, fighting against the Arabs. Go ahead.
The famous 12th century geographer El-Idrisi.
El-Idrisi, the famous what?
The famous 12th century geographer El-Idrisi.
We showed y'all his map. We showed y'all his map chapters ago. This is an Arab man here. Okay? El-Idrisi. Go ahead.
Reported that many of the inhabitants of Quaneri...
They used this man. Now, El-Idrisi was a famous geographer. It was El-Idrisi and there was Leo Africanus. Not Scipius Africanus, white guy, but Jake. These guys traveled Africa and they did travels, and Esau took their records, and others, people of renown, took El-Idrisi's findings and Leo Africanus' findings and merged it into a map. And that map we show y'all all the time. It was a 18th century map. Eamon Bowen translated it into English, I think, right? It was translated into English.
Yes, sir.
It's very, very high. I showed you, it said Lam Lam on it. Lam Lam on it. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. Go ahead, we have it. I'm going to show it to you. Go ahead.
The famous 12th century geographer El-Idrisi reported that many of the inhabitants of the Quaneri in southern Mauritania.
Southern where?
Mauritania.
Mauritania. That's where the word more comes from. Go ahead.
And many members of the tribe of Lamlam.
Of what?
Of Lamlam.
Remember, many tribes of the land of tribe of Lamlam. Go ahead.
Living south of Ghana.
Where?
South of Ghana.
South Ghana. Go ahead.
Were professing Jews.
They were Jews in Ghana. South of Ghana. Go ahead.
To be sure, being by tradition a non-proselytizing people, these Jews could not permanently resist the inroads of Islam.
Go ahead.
Supported by the overwhelming economic and military power of the neighboring Arab states, the Muslim traders effectively spread Muslim teachings and practices among various pagan tribes.
Including our own and including other Arabs. So, give me that map real quick. It says Lam Lam on it. It says Lam Lam. We showed it to y'all like freaking 2 weeks ago. El-Idrisi. We're gonna wrap it up real quick. Let's show you this map real quick about Lam Lam.
Man, you just had the map.
You had it earlier. The one that we didn't want before. Not this one we didn't want before.
It's right there. It just go out. I seen it on the side.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Right there.
Right there. Yep, blow it up. That's the one. That's El-Idrisi right here. El-Idrisi and Leo Africanus' work. And I believe Eamon Bowen was the one who basically, it was translated. It was in Spanish at first. We found the Spanish one. Then we found the one that the man named Eamon Bowen translated it into English, I believe.
Right.
In 1700s. But let's load up some more. You see where it says Negricia? Load up, go up to the top. Negricia, go over to the right. Negricia, that's Negro land. If you type in Negricia, you will get Negro land on Google. Negricia is Negro land. Now go down, you're going to see Lam Lam. See there? What does it say? What's it say under there? Under Lam Lam?
It's pixelated, Deke. You can barely see it. Deke, if we go to this one is better.
Okay.
The red one. Go back.
Red one has Lam Lam too?
Yes, sir. Go
Damn,
back.
It does?
Go back out.
I know on that map it says Jews there.
Zoom in. Zoom in. Go over, keep going. All the way to the west. Now go up. It's right here. It says Lam Lam, once a Jewish colony.
There you go. Lam Lam, once a Jewish colony. But I'm trying to get that map book. I'm going to read it myself. Where's that map at?
And it's also next to Timbuktu right there.
Right next to Timbuktu. Where's that map at that I had? Is it in the group me?
Yes, sir. It's on the group. Also, while Deacon is getting that, the map, also on the map, you see it says next to Senegambia. A lot of our people came from Senegambia, and also came over to the Americas, North America. And you see it says Judeo-paganism right there.
Right. So you had, in other words, you were observing Judaism, and we were and Hamite doctrine at the same time.
Right.
We were basically double-minded. Where's that damn map?
I have it in the
You sent it to me? 'Cause I want to read.
let's see.
Okay, I have it here. I have it here. I have a website that has it. All right, hold on. Lam Lam. It says, according to Idrisi, the land's whereabouts were peopled by Jews. That's what it says in there. Under Lam Lam, go back there, where it's pixelated a little bit. Lam Lam. See that? Blow it up some. I'll read what it says. Blow it up some. So you can see Lam Lam. That's fine. I'll read what it says. Lam Lam, right there. It says, according to Idrisi, the land hereabouts was peopled by Jews. Okay, that's what it says there. That little paragraph there on the Lam Lam. The same book, another book Gabi has, same thing. Once colonized by Jews. So that's right next to Timbuktu. That's right there in West Africa. And it's still people by Jews. All right, so we're going to take a break. Let your minds rest a little bit, and we'll get back to you after this break. All right, shalom.
History.
Shalom Israel, no son, Christ bless. Deacon Adon here of IUIC Philadelphia. Tuned in to Our Hidden History Radio, where we go into deep understanding and history of who we are, according to the Bible, hidden artifacts, archaeology, the geography, all you can think of that shrouds around our history of the Bible, we go into it in depth. So Israel, like, subscribe, comment on our YouTube channel, Our Hidden History Radio. See you then. Shalom, no son, Christ bless.
Do you know it?
Bro, all I can say, I don't agree with nothing you just did. You totally disagreed, or let me say it this way. You went against everything I told you to do. You disregarded me as a spiritual father, spiritual leader. And all I can say right now for you, bro, you're going to suffer the consequences.
Hey, shalom, baby. Hey, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of it.
You always say you're gonna take care of it. You say you're gonna take care of everything all the time.
And it's always taken care
I'm
of. That's
sick
why
of
we're
this.
still here.
I'm sick of this.
Dream me a dream for better days. Pray me a pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray.
Samurai, man I fierce. Flex pan the devil with his spiritual muscle. Warfare with the demon, them we a tussle. Jadep on one side, Satan I get defeat. They got great few with enemies, grab a shovel. Get them all the shirt off fire back, them still I love you. Bite the hand we feed them, turn round and them a cuss you. Never get a chance to do it again, me learn me lesson. Just because me smell up with a boy, no mean me trust you. Dream and I pray for better days. Can't come around way if you're stuck in all your ways. Parasite, them can't elevate. Them not really with it, them just going through our fears. Man I be shot to the feet, put on the armor, the procedure complete. Me nah go back, nah retreat. All traitors, every Jezebel must get delete. Me no sleep on a demon, me keep a full clip. Conspire me downfall, cause them want to me slip. Stay close to the real ones, we seal off and legit. Cause I gotta use them to keep your soul from the pit. This a war life, I saw the damn thing set. Man I start to the east, me no have no regret. That walk your perilous, you better watch how you step. If you loyal, eternal life you a get.
Dream me a dream for better days. Pray me a pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray. So me say Jah, me beg you for your mercy. Jah, won't you please come rescue me. Jah, you are the King of Kings. Me say Jah, I've done Sodom and Babylon. Jah, save your people Israel. Jah, stop the pain and suffering. Jah, me tired of this slavery. Jah, won't you hear my cry today? Dream me a dream for better days. Pray me a pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray.
When you know about hard life, blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice. No money and you can't pay your bills. Living in a poverty no nice. Living in a poverty no nice. You know nice. Be within a sardine and rice. Right price. House full of roach and mice. Minimum wage can't suffice.
Dream me a dream for better days. Pray me a pray for Jah fi pass my way. Oh please won't you come to save me from my misery. Too long me day in a slavery and I gone astray.
You call this taking care of it?
What do you want from me, woman? I'm working 60 hours a week, busting my butt, putting work in the body, and you just sitting home doing nothing.
I want you to fix it. I want you to be a man. I want you to stand up and be a man and stop moving out here like a boy. I should have never married your bum ass.
What the hell are you calling a bum ass?
You nigga, you think you're righteous? You think you have integrity? You need to stand up and take care of your responsibilities or else I'm gonna handle it.
So, you mean to tell me Most High blessed us with this house, beautiful kids and everything, and we cannot accept the bad from the Most High as well?
Listen, I'm not trying to hear all that, okay? Fix it, or else I'm gonna have to fix it, and you're not gonna like it.
We're going to prove to you that Jésus-Christ is noir. He's a black man, no blanc. Nous allons prouver que Jésus-Christ est noir.
now?
Yeah, what? Too long. And believe it or not, that's the voice of God.
Yeah. I ain't gonna change. Iuic rejects. we be getting missing, cause we be on a mission. We be on that stacking bricks that's taller than the ceiling. What the hell is you doing? Watching us gon' get you left. You be hating and you chasing, now you running out of breath. We be shining on the high, cause we be grinding on the low. Where you at and who you with, and tell me where you about to go. What the hell is you doing? Worry about what you doing. All you doing is you showing. Get your mind off us and worry about what you doing. Hey bro, I can see your mind touching on our topics. I can see your nose snooping around our projects. You can't stop this truth, can't slow down this progress. Better repent right now, cause you ain't dropped that project. Real talk, peel off, left him with his grill off. Blaming us cause he done fell off. All in your sins done made him run off. Well, you need to stop shooting them goddamn eyeballs. We be swishing over here, fishing over here, using scripts, no bait. You be scrubbing over there, struggling and fake loving all in my face. Yeah, bro, some of these fake cats wanna take our place. Got their eyes all on our plate. You need that milk, stop eating that steak. We be getting missing, cause we be on a mission. We be on that stacking bricks that's taller than the ceiling. What the hell is you doing? Watching us gon' get you left. You be hating and you chasing, now you running out of breath. We be shining on the high, cause we be grinding on the low. Where you at and who you with, and tell me where you about to go. What the hell is you doing? Worry about what you doing. All you doing is you showing. Get your mind off us and worry about what you doing.
We recording yet? We live?
Yeah, man, we live.
Okay. How many people we got online?
2.
2?
2.
All right. Roll with it. We are the Israelites, according to the Bible.
Right.
We are to teach so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that you are the Israelites,
Bring it
according
out.
to the Bible.
That's right.
It's time for us to wake up and to know who we are.
Right.
It's time for us to gather together.
Gather.
White man don't love us.
No love.
Nobody don't love us.
Bring it out.
We gotta love ourselves.
Love
How
ourselves.
we gonna do that? By gathering together.
Bring it out.
Give me Zephaniah, chapter 2, and verse 1.
That's right. Hey, you can't find it, Bishop? It's in the back of it's in the Old Testament at the end somewhere.
I know just what you doing. Stack no bricks, so you fooling. Never congregating like a student. You be homeschooling. You don't know your purpose. You belong in churches. Shalom, most high in Christ blessed, but never put no work in. We be in the trenches, always on a mission. For the 12 scattered abroad, yeah, we go the distance. It's an exhortation. Stop living in the matrix. You be waiting on the kingdom, do nothing to take it. Just face it. Oppressing, you complacent. Not by observation, but waking up the nation. What the hell is you doing? We be out to teaching. You committing treason. Last question, when you leaving? We be missing, cause we be on a mission. We be on that stacking bricks that's taller than the ceiling. What the hell is you doing? Watching us gon' get you left. You be hating and you chasing, now you running out of breath. We be shining on the high, cause we be grinding on the low. Where you at and who you with, and tell me where you about to go. What the hell is you doing? Worry about what you doing. All you doing is you showing. Get your mind off us and worry about what you doing.
Hey, what's your name? Your name Bishop what?
My name Bishop TD. Elder Sucker Jive. One man camp. One pillow. No sheets.
How many readers?
One reader.
And who the reader?
Myself. Me. One camp. One teacher. One.
I just wanna live and serve the Most High. Yeah. That's the whole duty of man in this life. Yeah. I know I'm a soldier he put on the line. I'm ready to fight, yeah. Whoa. And they persecute me like I'm Jeremiah. That's what they do. His word is the truth and it goes like a fire.
Destruction's coming very soon. I'm just warning you.
how you love thy neighbor. They wanna see you fall, 'cause they see you strong. They mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us.
Let's go.
Them haters mad.
We go large XL, go far XL like a car, we accelerate. Push hard to the pedal brake, all for heaven's sake. To gold metal flakes on my head and face. I'm a specialized, weaponized, mechanized, set aside, son of God. And it may come a time, try to take one of mine. Still we had a 10 like a number 9, never nervous. Haters make them mad on purpose, cause we in the streets where the curve is. They online where the nerds is. Ninja clown, make them short circuit. Please back, I'm allergic. Psalms 133, that's big unity, that's urban. And we in the end, that's curtains. Workmen on the front line on purpose.
See you fall, 'cause they see you strong. I know them haters mad, them haters mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us, them haters mad, them haters mad at us.
Hi haters, chill. Still looking at me? Don't watch me, watch TV. Deeps in the streets with the heat, and where a hater be? Mad as hell and they see they ain't never been me, so a hater can't speak. Hey, get like me, got works on works, I'll sleep on sleep, eat meat, wanna be a beast. Iuic, we a nation of kings and priests, everything that we seem to be. If a hater got an issue, he can find us so easily. We in the streets where they need to be. Forget a PC, go hard on GP. It's innate when you believe. We sit through these fakers and laugh at these haters. It's pure motivation, more energy to achieve.
See you fall, 'cause they see you strong. I know them haters mad. Them haters mad. They mad. They mad.
We were at the Wendy's earlier with a group, but this is the second group. Of course, this here is Digital United.
We're back. We are back from the break. We were going over some stuff while we were away. And I want to go into Zephaniah 3 and 10 regarding people, the Philashers over there, and those of us who resided in that area of Abyssinia, and how they migrated there based upon Roman persecution, and of course they migrated there. Eventually began to flee again during the Islamic persecution. From the so-called beloved Muhammad and his generous slavery of our people.
Wait for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Zephaniah 3 and 10.
I thought you were still talking.
No, I'm done.
Yes, sir. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed.
Right, so beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, the daughter of my dispersed. So beyond the rivers, as you know, from Ethiopia, they flow westward, and that's where Israel resides, along the Blue Nile, the White Nile. The rivers that flow into those areas, our people, the colonies of Jews reside all in these areas heavily. So now, if you go back to Lamlin on this map here, you can't read it, I'm going to read it for you. Lamlin, all right, it says there in that small paragraph, it says, where is it? It says, according to Idrisi, The land hereabouts was peopled by Jews, right? Do you see Kingdom of Cassena? Kingdom of Cassena in that area near Lamlin?
Hey, is that the same map I sent you? This one seemed more pixelated for some reason. But I know I sent you one that was clearer than that.
There's a clearer one, yes. Like a higher def version we have.
Yeah, I sent it to him.
It's like a file. Send it to him again. We need this clear. That the one?
Yeah, there you go, bro.
Yeah, that's the one.
Come on, man.
Yes. All right. So now, go to Lemlin, blow it up. As big as it goes. Jesus Christ.
It's always something, right?
Oh, God. All right. Go over to where you see Kingdom of Cassena. Kingdom of Cassena is right above Lamlin. Right there, Cassena. Kingdom of Cassena, right there. See it there? Now go over to where it says Wanagar. To the right. Wanagata. Right there. See that line right there? Words right there? The words under Wanagata, it says, from whence are brought gold and slaves. Under Wanagata. From whence are brought gold and slaves. Gold center, I don't know what that is, and slaves. Okay? So the tribes from Lamlin were taken to here to be sold. Then, when you go over to where it says Shankal, look for Shankal, you should see Kingdom of Gorham. Kingdom of Gorham. Okay, what's going on with the rock music? The hell is this? Kingdom of Gorham. Keep that to yourself, all right? Keep the music to yourself. All right? Kingdom of Gorham.
That was me that probably.
Yeah, now we know what brothers are really into.
Oh, man.
I have to see who's over there.
Yeah, Kingdom of Gorham. You see Shankala right there? Shankala. It says there, it says wandering tribes under that. Wandering tribes. And you see Jews exiled. Right there, Jews exiled. Phalasha. It says Phalashim. Phalashim. All right? That's what it's going into. So I'm showing y'all. So it says, let me see. This map is by Eamon Bowen, a 1747 called Negro Land. There's a map. This map is Negro Land here. It's Eamon Bowen, 1740. This map is from 1747. All right? No, not this one. This is. I'm sorry. Negro Land is the other one. Is the one where it says White on it. This is. I'm not that one.
Kingdom of Judah on the.
This is El Idrisi. This is El Idrisi's map here. Kingdom of White is Eamon Bowen's map. All right. So, give me a second. Yeah, that's all I want. So now, go back to the page now. So you come across words like Lamland and Cicada. That's our people in them areas. Go ahead.
Go down. All right. To be sure, being by tradition a non-proselytizing people, these Jews could not permanently resist the inroads of Islam.
Non-proselytizing means we didn't convert. This particular set of Jews did not convert heathens to the ideology. They stayed to themselves. So because of that, they were overthrown. If they had shared, if we were sharing our ideology to the heathens that were in the land, they might have let us stay there. But because we stayed to ourselves, that the Bible says, they pushed us out. That's what it's saying here. Go ahead.
Supported by the overwhelming economic and military power of the neighboring Arab states, the Muslim traders effectively spread Muslim teachings and practices among various pagan tribes.
Arab tribes. Go ahead.
Although the
Islamization
of many such converts often proved to be both superficial and temporary.
Right. Go ahead. So the converts of Islam, we were fake Muslims too. We were basically crypto Jews and Islam too. We would simply claim the religion of Islam to stay in the land. That's why a lot of our people over in Africa now, what are they? Muslim. Because their foreparents were pretending to be Muslims, but they, of course, over time, really believed that they were Muslims. But initially, we were not. We were pretending to be Muslims to remain in our land. That the Muslims took over. Go ahead.
A new impetus to seek shelter in the unexplored dark continent was given to Jewish refugees from the Iberian persecution.
There you go.
After 1391.
After what year?
1391.
Remember that year? 1391? Go ahead.
In the area around Tenderma, some 60 miles southwest of Timbuktu, founded in 1496, Jews had allegedly lived for generations under 7 kings, each of whom had an army of 12,000 knights.
And we had knights. We had knights in Africa, 12,000 knights and 7 kings. Go ahead.
Other reports describe various groups of Jews who, by digging wells and introducing a number of metallurgical crafts, pioneered in local agriculture and industry. Most of these reports relate to Jews or Judaizers living in Muslim lands or on their periphery. They will be discussed somewhat more fully in connection.
Metallurgical means the technique or science of working or heating metals so as to give them certain desired shapes or properties. The technique or science of making and compounding alloys. The technique of science of separating metals from their ores. We were metal, so we basically
Like blacksmiths and
we
all
were
that.
blacksmiths, right? Metal, we were smiths. That's the metallurgical crafts means. We were crafters of metal. Go ahead.
Pioneered in local agriculture and industry. Most of these reports relate to Jews or Judaizers living in Muslim lands or on their periphery. They will be discussed somewhat more fully in connection with the story of Jewish life under late medieval and early modern Islam. Here we are concerned only with the few stray, and for the most part, rather questionable data relating to Jews in Afro-Asian areas.
What?
Afro-Asian areas.
Afro-Black Asian areas that the Jews were. Go ahead.
Conquered by the Portuguese during their great 16th century expansion.
1500 expansion. Go ahead.
It has been suggested by no less an authority than Frederick Ratzel that the island of San Tomé,
island of St. Thomas, remember that place? Go ahead.
St. Thomas, discovered by the Portuguese in 1471 and subsequently used as a place of deportation for Jews.
Do what?
Unwilling to adopt baptism.
So St. Thomas was a plantation. And they took the children from the parents and shipped them to the island of St. Thomas. Go ahead.
We recall the forcible removal of Portuguese Jewish children.
Remember that? We recall the what?
We recall the forcible removal of Portuguese Jewish children to that locality in 1497. May have been instrumental in the settlement of many Jews in the neighboring West African lands.
May have been instrumental in the settlement of what?
Instrumental in the settlement of many Jews in the neighboring West African lands.
So they took the Portuguese gained colonies in West Africa, took the children from their parents and placed them in plantations in many West African lands. Real quick, give me St. Thomasans or St. Thomas people. St. Thomas people real quick. I showed y'all Cape Verdeans before. They look crazy. I'm gonna like a bunch of hybrids. They're crazy as hell. But let's look at St. Thomas. Let's look at the people of St. Thomas. St. Thomas people. Get some images of the descendants today. That's how they look. These Jews today.
Just click on something. Go back up.
Probably similar to the Cape Verdeans. Okay.
Click on kids. Get some grown-ups.
And then get them. Just pick a picture.
Nah, this is St. Thomas, the island, the actual island over in the Caribbean.
No, it was St. Thomas, Africa.
Yeah, right.
That's the islands. Okay, no. St. Thomas, Africa.
Yeah, just past one. That's what it says. What? Yeah, St. Thomas, out of Africa.
Mm-hmm. You gonna blow up the pictures, or you just gonna scroll down?
What are you doing? Oh my
Y'all right over there?
Yo, somebody get him off the computer, please.
Yo, try this.
Yo.
People of St. Thomas, Africa. Try that. People of St. Thomas, Africa.
Let's be on the computer. I can't see.
I don't know. It was wasting time. It's just almost 3:30. Yo.
That's Officer Manny.
That's Officer Manny? Or me that?
You're having a bad day. Having a bad day.
Oh, yeah?
You're having a bad day. Yeah, let's just be patient.
All right, I'm going to be patient with you.
Any day now.
Well, that's all they got? All right, well, zoom into those then.
Yeah, we actual people. Oh, that's them? Yeah. All right, zoom in.
So this is how the children would have looked when they shipped them away, took them from their parents. That's them now. Okay, this is our people. These are our people here. It's just them, people of St. Thomas. That's just them. Those are kids, and there's an adult right there in the middle, or a few adults there. But those are our people there.
What tribe they look like? We're in the West.
West Coast?
It's kind of hard to determine.
I can't tell, but
Yeah, I
they're
can't
definitely
tell.
us.
Yeah,
They're definitely us.
They definitely don't got that Hamitic head.
They have the shiny skin, they have the shiny, rich Jake skin.
They don't got that dry.
They have that dry, ashy skin like the real Hamites be having.
They don't got that
Go
Mr.
another,
Kool-Aid looking Hamite head.
Go another image. They got big heads. It's just, but Jake
Yeah, they
got
do
big
got
heads.
big heads.
Load up some.
What? Why you look at me?
There you go. There goes some women right there, some sisters right there. All right. You see they're wearing Islamic dresses there. I mean Muslims. Because that Arab conquest of that area. You see that right there? Islamization right there. Those are the descendants of Islamization. All right, of crypto Islamization, really. All right, so let's go out of that. So let's read on. It is quite possible.
It is quite possible that Jewish children.
Hold on, read this part slow. Watch this.
It is quite possible that Jewish children and adults were chosen to serve as part of an experiment.
Of a what?
Of an experiment.
For what? Go ahead.
Of how the Portuguese could adjust to life in the tropics.
Go ahead.
Reference has frequently been made, especially to an African tribe of Mavambu in the Bay of Loango, whose customs, according to some 9th century travelers, bore the unmistakable imprint of biblical Judaism.
Boom. Go to the map again. Godfrey again. Red map again. Loango, Mavumba. Go back to it again. Zoom in, Johnny. Zoom into this one. Look for Mavumbu.
Go down Central Africa. Near Angola. Go down.
That's Gabon. Gabon there.
That's San Tome right there.
Right there. San Tome is right there. You see San Tome Jews right there? Circle that right there. Circle to the left. Circle it. With the cursor, whatever. Okay. San Tome Jews there. Then go down. Under that, what does it say? Mavumbo Jews. See that? So they know. You still know where Jake is. That's Gabon or Gabon, the same place. Read on. Let's go back to the book.
And Deacon, they got a lot of us from that same little area right there, Loango, and shipped us to North America.
Wow. There you go. Go ahead.
Mavambu in the Bay of Loango, whose customs, according to some 19th century travelers, bore the unmistakable imprint of biblical Judaism.
They were Israelites. Go ahead.
Some of these natives may indeed have in part been converted to Judaism.
They were not converted to Judaism. They were already observing it. Esau throwing the line now, throwing his lies in. Go ahead.
By Jewish visitors.
No. Yeah, us. Go ahead.
Or settlers at some earlier period.
The author's trying to justify why they were keeping Judaism, because they were Jews. That's why. Not because some Jews went over there and taught them. They were already keeping it. Go ahead.
Judaic rites often survived the strong efforts made by Portuguese missionaries to uproot all vestiges of Judaism.
They were trying to get rid of Judaism. They were trying to get rid of it. The Portuguese are trying to erase it. Go ahead.
and replaced them with Christian observances.
Right. That's what the Greeks did to us. Hellenized us. Same thing. Go ahead.
Anthropological and linguistic researchers in various other parts of Africa have likewise produced a number of attractive, if still rather uncertain, hypotheses about Jewish influences on local tribal traditions during the pre-colonial age, as well as after the Portuguese explorations.
Anthropological means the study of people. It's the study of the people, the race that was there. Meaning the Jews, these are racially ethnic Jews living in this land, observing Judaism prior to Islamic and Portuguese colonization. That's what it's saying in a fancy way. Okay? Now, let's get Jewish diaspora. I'm on page 455 regarding the year 1391. If you read above, it says the Jewish refugees from the Iberian persecution after 1391. The Jewish refugees from the Iberian persecutions after 1391. They sought shelter in the Dark Continent during that major persecution when the Esau got fed up with us in Judaism. He got tired of us in Judaism. Tired of us. Where we had status and power, and we were keeping an ideology that they hated, like they do now. Jewish diaspora. I'm on page 455.
A lot of the nigger kings that rose up in West Africa, like a lot of the different empires, like the Mali Empire. You have the Ghana Empire, and then the Songhai Empire. A lot of us was under those empires, but I think this book that Deacon about to read anyway is gonna go into that. So I'm gonna just when we read it.
I don't think so. That was what the year.
Oh, okay. The page do go into it though, but if you want.
Yeah. Go to the year 1391. Right there.
1391. After Spanish riots, many Jews settled in Algeria.
Many Jews settled where?
In Algeria.
Uh-huh.
Settlement continues until in the cities of Oran, Algiers, Constantine, and Lemson.
No, continues until 1492.
Right, continues until 1492 in the cities of Oran, Algiers, Constantine, and Lemson.
Right. So that's what happened. The Spanish riots, the Edomites began to attack us more and more vigorously because of Judaism during that year. That year was very, very the year they pretty much got tired of us. They got sick and tired of us. Enough was enough for Judaism. All right, you want to get something else, Jazz? You want to get something else?
I'll see if the page have it. Should be. If you have page 450, 451, you have those pages?
Yeah, it should have those.
$450. Let me see $450. Load up. Go down. Go up. Go up. Go up. All right, give me 451.
Yeah, it's 451. For the top paragraph, I think.
Yes, sir. This is it. Okay. It says, in Mali, several thousand people in Timbuktu claim some form of Jewish ancestry. Moors and Jews fleeing persecution in Spain migrated south in the 14th century to Timbuktu, part of the Songhai Empire. Among them was the Kati family, who founded 3 villages that still exist near Timbuktu.
The Kohath. The Kohath is the priests. Kohath, the Kohath family. That's the priests. That's Levites' family. Go ahead.
Askia Muhammad came to power in 1492 and forced Jews to convert to Islam or leave.
That's why many of them migrated somewhere else from there. Go ahead.
Says after this, Judaism became illegal in Mali.
See, it became illegal in Mali. That's why a lot of our people in Mali are Muslim. Yeah. I'm a Muslim today.
That don't sound like the Greeks, when they passed the law that you could not profess yourself to be a Jew.
Read the next one.
Damn.
In Nigeria, the Igbo may be descended from the southern and westward migrations of ancient Semitic peoples.
Israelites.
And later Jewish peoples from the Middle East.
Israelites. Same thing.
Into West Africa. There are 3 groups. The Benai Gad. Said to have descended from the tribe of Gad. The 8th son of Jacob. Benai Zebulon from the tribe of Zebulon. The 5th son of Jacob. and Beni Manasseh, Beni Ephraim are different from the other Nigerian Jewish groups.
They're separate. Go ahead.
As they live among the Yoruba.
See that? As they live among the Yoruba. Because the Yorubas is Ephraim. Get the map again. With the map again.
The red one.
The red one. It's circled. That one you're going to see. Go up to the blue circle. Zoom into the blue circle. What you're going to see right there in that area? Move up right there. Beni Ephraim. Boom. Right there. Look to your left, you see Dahomian Jews. And you see Dahomia to the left. That evil bastard tribe over that area. Dahomey right there. And you see Jewish traces right there even above that. With the arrows pointing. The Jewish traces.
Ashanti.
Next to Ashanti, see? Jewish traces. That's where Benjamin is at. Majority of Benjamin's from there. So, we're going to get to that. But for now, give me the Jews visit Gods, page 36. Page 36 of that, regarding the expulsion reason. I want to get to that. I don't know why, but something's telling me I should go there. 36, reason behind the 1391 and the whole, you'll see. Page 36. Perhaps,
somewhat more correctly, Gonzalez Garcia has stated that the Catholic Church was solely concerned with the continued Christian observance by baptized Jews, even those baptized by force, contrary to canon law, and also with the problem of mixed marriage.
You had Jews and Christians, Christian white women getting married. Go ahead. Or Edomite men marrying black women. One or the other. Go ahead.
In Visigothic Spain, however, the cooperation of church and state in persecuting the Jews was due to the conviction that the Jews constituted a danger to the religious unity, which resulted from the conversion of the kingdom to Catholicism.
See that? So the observance of Judaism was a threat to the empire itself, the kingdom itself, of unifying it, having everybody become what? Become one. Go ahead.
And the fear at times, the certainty that the Jews conspired against the monarchy and the national unity.
Go ahead.
Even though we have demonstrated already that, in fact, there was no conspiracy on the part of the Jews.
They made it up. They just hated us. There's one that's gone. Go ahead.
It is undeniable that there was a fear of such a conspiracy, however unfounded. Many early historians in Spain and elsewhere have similarly theorized about the threat to national and religious unity which the Jews supposedly posed in 15th century Spain in the reign of the Catholic monarchs, and suggested that this was the cause for their expulsion. This is a theory which I cannot accept for many reasons too complicated, too detailed here, but which are discussed in my book on conversos, the Inquisition and the expulsion. What then is different about the Visigothic period which makes a similar theory more acceptable? The answer, obviously, is the extent to which Visigothic Spain represented an almost total identity of church and state.
It was both. Go ahead.
This was not contrary to much popular thinking, the case in 15th century Spain at all. Secondly, there was total unanimity among the church leaders in Spain in their absolute animosity towards Jews.
They hated us. I just said that. They hated us. That was the reason. They hated the Jews. Go ahead.
Once again, that was not the case in later medieval Spain. Enemies there were, but they were mostly conversos who attained high rank in the church.
They were sellouts. Go ahead.
And particularly the Inquisition, which launched a dual campaign against conversos and Jews. Analogies are always dangerous, and it is necessary to be cautious in making oversimplified comparisons between the very different Spains of the Visigoths and of Catholic monarchs. The anti-Jewish polemic of the Visigothic period was, as we have already seen, heavily influenced by the earlier Christian writers, Jerome, Augustine, but especially Syrian and Byzantine authors. It is interesting that we find these Visigothic bishops using the most vile expressions with regard to Jews.
They hated us. Go ahead.
Expressions which are rarely, if at all, found in later medieval Christian writers in Spain.
So they want the Jews gone because they hated the Jews as a people, period. That's the reason why they wanted us out of there. Now, let's go to page 459, the same book, Jewish Diaspora. 459.
That's deep-rooted hatred.
That's right. That's all they get. Give me Ezekiel 35 real quick. Ezekiel 4. No more.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Who was thou? Get verse 1.
Verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God.
It's referring to Mount Seir. Referring to Mount Seir. Go to verse 5 now. Mount Seir is Edom. Go ahead.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
They have had a perpetual hatred toward the Israelites. Go ahead.
It has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
The Jews. Go ahead.
By the force of the sword.
In Spain, Portugal, Rome. Go ahead.
In a time of the calamity. In a time that the iniquity had an end.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Saith that Sith? What does it say?
Saith?
Oh, I got a typo in my new Bible. Sorry.
What's happening?
Saith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Oh gosh! Oh, all
my
right.
new Bible too. I got a typo in my Bible, man.
You do? Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
send it back.
Damn.
Can officer?
Abaddon, take over.
Can you help him? Come on, man.
Abaddon.
Come on, boy.
Hey,
it's your time, man.
Redeem.
Come on, man.
Hey.
Oh my God! Oh, look at this guy. He's got to touch the mic.
Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate.
Oh, he'll be for power now. Okay.
And cut off from it him that passes out, him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with the slain men.
Right, so the Lord says don't kill Edom, but Edom has had a perpetual hatred for us since the beginning of time, since birth. All right, that hatred was always going to be there. On 459, start at the story. We're gonna end it at where it says 500,000.
Yes, sir. Jews in Cape Verde. The story of the Jews of Cape Verde and their descendants has yet to be fully researched and documented, but it constitutes an important, little-known chapter in the history of the Jewish diaspora. Evidence shows that from the period of the Spanish and Portuguese Inquisition through the 19th century, Cape Verde hosted Jews fleeing religious persecution or seeking greater economic stability. Although a minority in a predominantly Catholic country, Jewish settlers and their descendants have exerted and continue to exert a positive and enduring influence on the economic, political, and cultural life of the tiny African nation of approximately 500,000.
So this book is trying to mix it together. You had fake Jews there today, but you had the original ancient Jews fled there first to Cape Verde during the Spanish Inquisition, during the Spanish persecution. I got 10 minutes. Get 460. However, and we're going to end at began. However, and end that began.
However, because the majority of the settlers were male and their numbers were few and relative to the larger non-Jewish community, widespread intermarriage with the predominantly Catholic population occurred.
So the majority of us who settled in Cape Verde were males. And you had Edomites that resided there already, so we mixed around with the white women. So all them kids you see up there, and we showed you Cape Verdeans, that's their forefathers is mostly black men, and their wives are white women. Portuguese women. That explains the whole hybrid look. But so these are Israelite women. These are Israelites. All right, read again. However, because what?
However, because the majority of the settlers were male and their numbers were few relative to the larger non-Jewish community, widespread intermarriage with the predominantly Catholic population occurred. This frequent intermingling gradually weakened the settlers' affiliation with Jewish customs and rituals.
They begin to forget their identity because of intermingling. Go ahead.
Although many of the prominent families, such as the Cohens, the Levites, the Beneliels, and the Wanans, married among themselves, more often than not, Jewish men married and had children with indigenous Portuguese or Cape Verdean women.
Same Israelite women. Go ahead.
Hence, their offspring, while retaining the Sephardic name of the father, would not formally be considered Jewish.
Okay, go ahead.
Interestingly, many of the offspring of mixed marriages were not baptized, illustrating that neither spouse was particularly observant, or perhaps that a spirit of compromise prevailed in the face of differing customs. Some of the settlers had children out of wedlock.
Just sleeping around. You know how Jake do. He was banging women around, banging women here, there. Go ahead.
As a result of these circumstances, there are virtually no practicing Jews in Cape Verde today. The Jews and their descendants became so thoroughly assimilated in Cape Verde that formal Cape Verdean ministers of culture, Ordina Ferreira, said that one did not know where their Jewishness left off and their Cape Verdean identity began.
Such intermingling took place, we got lost, but the Jews is all up in there in Cape Verdean people. You see the features, but it was mostly men that settled there. Those are all, those mixed around features you see, the gray eyes, the blonde hair, that's some ancient black men that stayed there first and mixed with all the Portuguese women. That's where that come from. So those are our people with them crazy looks. All right? Those are definitely our people who had the father's side. Okay? 4:60. Do I have time? What time I got?
5 minutes.
All right, we're going to stop there.
Hey, Deacon.
Yeah.
Understand, my mistake earlier. I think for some reason they left the Old English typo in Ezekiel 35, verse 6, just to let you know, sir. It's supposed to be since, but I don't know why they'll spell it Sith. That threw my spirit off.
What chapter is it again?
Ezekiel 35, verse 6. We did we did a diligent search, sir.
It's S-I-T-H.
Sith.
Yeah.
Sith's the Lord?
But Cap, you said saith, right?
Oh, you want to go there? I didn't know what that was.
Sith. It just says Sith. Sith.
It's supposed to be sense.
Yeah.
Set this sense.
Oh. You knew that, Deacon?
Yeah.
Before I said it?
Yeah.
Sith.
Yeah, since thou hast not the hated blood, since thou hast not said the sins.
But why would they have everywhere else since that one area is Sith?
It's Old English, man.
Nah, it can't be throwing me off like that, man. Throw me off my game. You actually recommended Abaddon to read over me. I was a little hurt.
That was hurt. That was painful. That was painful.
Very painful.
Damn.
Hey, Cap, that was Levi that did that thing too. He's a big advocate for Officer Abaddon reading over.
He's been waiting for me to
No,
feel.
man.
He's one of those people that wait for you to fall.
I want my brother to redeem himself.
I appreciate you.
I'm trying to help him out. I don't want his spirit to keep crushing like you crushing my spirit every day.
Oh, no.
Damn.
I'm trying to help him out. I could take it, but
You don't know you can take it.
Damn, in Egypt, I'm trying to see. 463. I don't see in Egypt in here. In Egypt. On page 463. I'm trying to see if I want that.
But yeah, so this history, our history is very, very lucrative, man. We are an omnipresent people. We are everywhere. All right, we weren't just in Africa. We was all over the world. You understand? Oh, you want to bring out a script? What do you want? While Deacon is looking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Deuteronomy, is that 11? 21?
Where we set our foot?
Yeah.
Set our foot 11:29 or something like that.
25 or 21,
21.
21, yeah.
I'm trying to find what this is in Egypt.
And if y'all been watching, if y'all been watching, okay, I'm sorry.
24, right.
Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 24. Every place wherein the soles of your feet shall tread be yours.
Right.
From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be.
Right. So wherever we touch our feet, it was ours, because it was promised to us.
Right.
Like Ezra said, the whole planet Earth is created for the Israelites.
There's more of us than there is of them.
Right.
But the thing is, we think that it's more of them because of the different features and the locations.
Oh, I know what I want to know.
We're more than just America.
Right. And like Cap is saying, they always portray the fairer image in a lot of those lands. So you see a lot of people that look more like Esau and so forth. They put them up, but in a lot of lands, we in the ghettos and the hoods, just like over here.
But they'll never put us out there.
Never put us out there.
Or it's on the back.
So when you look at TV, they look like the majority on television, and we think that they're majorities.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to stop there. I don't get much time. I'll go over that next week. I'm going to mark this down for next week. Next there. We're gonna close out. Shout outs to the IT team. Shout outs to the breakfast team. The meat breakfast was excellent today. That's what you all, the whole class. All that food we was eating. So thank you.
All praises.
Thank you for that. It was great. And shout out to the IT team. Thank you very much. Y'all kind of fell off a little bit, but y'all all right, man. And Captain Terrell almost did too. Reed.
I'm not gonna lie, my reader was on point today.
It's all right. All praise to the Lord. Everything we got through it. Lord, so we'll get through another.
Yeah, this guy's smiling.
We'll see y'all.
This guy's smiling.
Hey,
the scripture says not to rejoice when your greatest enemy falleth.
Cap, I just enjoyed the class.
Well, Lord's will, we'll see y'all in 2 weeks because, as you know, next week is Passover.
Passover.
So we will see
That's
y'all.
right. That's right.
We will see y'all, Lord's will, in 2 weeks. All right. So with that, we're gonna say shalom, and we'll see y'all. Oh, announcements, right?
Yes,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hey, Israel, let's give Deke a hand for that class. I think it was great. All praises. Every week, come back with that fire. So, Israel, if you want to donate, help for the book fund, for the equipment, remember to donate to IUIC.NewJersey at IsraelUnite.org and put on the description what you're donating for. Also, donate to the Booster Club, IUIC.fundraising at IsraelUnite.org. And don't forget to go on the Our Hidden History YouTube channel and subscribe. So going forward, you're always going to see us going live on our own YouTube channel. So let's subscribe and hit the notification so you get an alert when we go live, all right? I think that's it, officer.
You already told him about the YouTube page, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, Dick, you want to close out?
Okay, the usual. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So you are now tuned into
Our Hidden History radio show.
See y'all in 2 weeks.